morning, everybody. So I just had my coffee. Now it's finally time to make some dog bowls. So Miss Lily, who was formerly known as Chanel, this little baby is still with us. We still have to get her spay scheduled, but she's all up to date on her vaccines. She'll have to do boosters in a couple weeks, so she's still here. So this is her. We also have Boots down here, and then Smokey and Bandit still are sharing a bowl. So got everybody's bowl lined out, and now they all have names on it, so it makes it a little bit easier to figure out how much everybody is eating. Also, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I'm like very sinusy. I've been feeling very sick lately, and I don't know if I'm like having like terrible allergies or if I'm actually coming down with a cold. I've been in the garden the last 3 days trying to do a lot of seed starting and stuff, because also we're supposed to get really bad storms here in the DFW area. So I was trying to get it all done. I'll show y'all all the changes and everything that's been going on in the garden, because I don't know if y'all remember, but I also lost half my garden to the septic system. That was in this video if you wanna catch yourself up with that. Which also, I don't know if y'all can tell because the camera's a little bit far away, but like my face is broken out right now because I took sunscreen, and not my normal sunscreen, my Tula sunscreen, but I took like spray can sunscreen and sprayed it all over everything, and it broke my face out. So I've been using these pimple patches, which I'm not sure the brand right off the top of my head, but they've been working great, like really good. I'll put a link down below to whichever ones I use in case anybody's in the market for pimple patches that actually work. But anyways, let's go ahead and start getting dog bowls and cat bowls made and getting everybody fed and getting our morning going, because later we also have to go to the airport. But this time it's not for me, it's for Chip. He's going to Fresno, California for work. So we're gonna have to go drop him off, and I'll catch you up on everything going on with my work and Japan and all the things that have been going on in life lately. But let's do this first. Good morning, Mr. Boatser. Are you enjoying the weather before it gets bad? I got something for you. You excited? So don't mind the new updo, but I've actually been uploading these video files onto my computer as I've been filming. And thank goodness I did that, because I did not realize while we were having breakfast together that I accidentally hit some kind of button and put us into slow-mo with no audio. Basically what I was saying is that I really was not in a breakfasty mood. Somebody likes breakfast food though, with those biscuits he's making. And I still had some factory meals left for the week, so I just thought that was gonna be perfect. I just wanted something that was gonna be like delicious and kind of like a little bit heartier, something a little bit, I don't know, just cozier. And so I ended up doing a factory meal. So the factory meal I ended up choosing was the barbecue pork tenderloin with cheddar mashed potatoes and carrots and broccoli. But I also want to thank Factor for sponsoring today's video. Y'all know me and Factor, we go together like this. We're PB&J, we are mac and cheese, because like Factor just simplifies my life. They make it super easy for me, especially on days like today where I'm not feeling my best and I really don't want to cook like a big old meal. Or also when I'm traveling and I need to get ready and go to work, I don't want to have to worry about trying to meal plan, trying to grocery shop, trying to cook, trying to clean, trying to do all the things when I already have a million and one other things going on. But another thing I love about Factor is the variety. They have a rotating weekly menu of over 100 different meal options now, so you never get bored, and there's always something new and exciting to try. This smells divine. I feel like this was exactly what I was in the mood for. Get a little bite of mash and some pork. Oh yeah, just what I needed. So if you want to try out Factor today, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code CatNesbittFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year, and that's code CatNesbittFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. This pork is so tender, I can literally just cut it with my fork. But I thought with all the storms today that they would be red flagging, which red flagging basically means that they don't have enough flight attendants. And so they'll red flag specific trips that they really need somebody to work. And sometimes it'll be like all trips. Like if they really need flight attendants, it'll be everything. And sometimes it'll be like 2 or 3 days more than like 1 day. It just depends on kind of like necessity. But if you get a red flag trip, it's 150% pay, which is really nice. So basically time and a half for a trip you work. The only thing is that the red flag hours don't count towards your hard 40. So the hard 40 means that you are required to fly 40 hours within a month for my airline. Every airline is a little bit different. Some, like, you might have to fly like a certain amount in the year. Some might not have anything. It just kind of depends. So that's the only thing about doing red flag is you still are gonna have to work 40 in-flight hours. Like, your red flag doesn't count towards that, but otherwise, it's a great way to make extra money. So they'll probably won't red flag today, but I am guessing that like in the next few days, we probably will see red flagging, just because when storms happen, like thunderstorms and stuff like that, can cause ground delays, that can cause crews to get stuck, it can cause planes not to land, and it creates like a regular operation. So they might need more flight attendants on deck than originally planned. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this and then we'll go out to the garden together. Hi, Mr. Bronzy, you have a good walk? I feel like Mr. Bronson is warming up to Boots. Lucy, not as much still, but Bronson doesn't seem to mind him at all. Huh, you don't seem to mind at all. Yeah. Oh, I got the coughs right now. Because I've been doing all the seed starting and had my hands in dirt, I obviously don't have like my signature nails done, but I have been fiending for a new set, so we'll probably do that today. But one of the first things you're gonna notice is that there is a new flower bed over here, but we'll deal with that in a second. So this was the septic sprayer culprit, and we're thinking about moving this to the back of the property over there. So we put some edging in with some weed barrier down, and then added some of the soil that was in my beds that got contaminated, because this was very expensive organic soil, and it's fine for landscaping. You just don't want to grow anything that you're gonna eat in there. So we're gonna put in a bunch of flowers and kind of have like a pollinator garden down at the front of the thing. Now you might see down there, I do have one sage in my thyme that was in the beds. Now obviously we're not going to consume that, but we just went ahead and added it in here anyways. Hi, Mr. Bootsy. This is also a little bit of evidence from my banana tree that died, which I will show you, but there's a pup that's in there, so we should still be all right. So as you can see, we started taking some of the soil. We still have a lot more to get out of here before we bleach down the beds. And like I said, I think I'm gonna add stones and stuff, like maybe a weed barrier and stones at the bottom, and then build the beds back up, and we'll order new soil. We also took some soil from this bed as well. So this is the banana tree I was talking about. So this one bent over and snapped, but it did have a pup before that happened, because this one, when I brought it in for the winter, I think it ended up getting like some pest or something from the window seal, and it was just like eating the banana from the inside out. So it's unfortunate we have to start over yet again, but at least we have something pretty well established here. But also, you might notice in all of these, we have milkweed. So I planted, oh, what is the flower called? I forgot the name of it, but I planted some flower around the edge, which is kind of like a spiller, like small flower, and then milkweed in all of the middles. So I have pink swamp milkweed, showy milkweed, common milkweed, prairie milkweed, and butterfly milkweed. So I went ahead and planted the same 5 varieties of milkweed around here and just kind of staggered them so they would all be really pretty when they grow up. But also right here, I ended up planting jasmine. There's also some smaller flowers. It's the same one that I did on the rim of these. I can't remember what it's called, but that's gonna be here. And then I'm doing jasmine, which I wish y'all could smell this. Like, jasmine smells insane. And as soon as I planted this, the pollinators just immediately came over. It just smells so good in here. Like, this is definitely one I'm excited for this to fill up. But also, as you may notice, in our little citrus alley, we have 2 of these are lemons, 2 are limes, 1's an orange. I don't know who's who anymore. They definitely took some frost damage here, so I'm hoping they'll all come back, because some of these definitely still have some green and stuff on them, but now in the future, I know all of these are gonna have to go inside whenever the frost comes. As I've told y'all before, the greenhouse broke and we kind of just fixed it, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take this entire door off the hinges. But going into the greenhouse, I've already had both of these blueberry plants here. This is a mulberry tree, so we actually have 2 mulberries. One's in the ground right now because I thought it was a bush before I learned it's actually a pretty vigorous tree with an intense root system. So I'm actually gonna dig it up and repot it back in here, but this is by far our bigger mulberry. And then this is my olive tree, which went dormant over the winter time, but as you can see, it's starting to get a lot of new growth on it, so that's good. I also have some lemon balm down there, and then I have some mint. So this is orange mint. Oopsie, that's orange mint. That's apple mint.
I'll have to get a new little name tag. I've been labeling things a lot better this year, which is good. But then I also have strawberry mint, which this looks like it's dead, but honestly mint is so vigorous that sometimes it looks like it's dead and then it still comes back. But then this pomegranate is new because I actually had a wonderful pomegranate, but we put it in the ground in the fall and then it got hit by the crazy winter storm. So I'm pretty sure it's dead. Maybe I'll be surprised, but I'm pretty sure it's dead. But this one is a different variety, which is supposed to actually be better. So this one is called Angel Red, and it says that the pomegranate fruit itself is supposed to have less pulp. It's supposed to be sweeter as well as juicier. So to speed run us through everything, I've got some cucamelon. So I've never planted this before, so I'm really excited. I've got tomatillos, which did really well last year. Jalapenos are my favorite pepper. It's what I eat the most of, so it's gonna be the pepper I'm planting the most of. I've got mild, I've got hot, I've got pickling, and then we have the jumbo that's already in the garden beds. I've got some bell pepper. I've got some bush green beans. I loved the pole beans last year, but I just don't have the space for them this year. We've got some chives, some pinto beans, some eggplant. I've got another black bean, some patsai. So this is kind of like a bok choy. I've got some yu choy sum, which is supposed to taste like bok choy, but it kind of looks like broccolini. Then coming down here, I'm only doing 3 varieties of cucumbers this year. I think last year I did like 5 or 6. So I'm doing muncher. This is a slicing. I'm doing a national pickle. So this is a pickling cucumber, and then straight 8, which these are the best of both worlds. You can pickle or slice them. I've got some zucchini in the back, which we suffer from the squash vine borer. So you have to get this in really, really soon to get a zucchini harvest. Otherwise, you're just not going to get any. I was thinking about doing like trombone squash, I think the variety is called, that apparently does well against them, but I couldn't find seed packets for it. So I guess we're just skipping that. We'll put those in early. Maybe we'll get zucchini, maybe we won't. And then tomatoes. I got lots of tomatoes going. So we're going to do some yellow pear. I've got some San Marzano. These are a great paste tomato if you're making sauce and stuff. Some cherry tomatoes. And then I'm doing quite a bit of basil, but I'm only doing, I think it's called like Genovese. It's like the traditional basil, because not only is it great to eat, it's great for pests, but also it makes your tomatoes taste better if you plant it nearby. I also have some Thai basil seed. I'm not sure if I'm going to plant that this year or not, but maybe. And then I've got lots of Roma tomatoes, because this is my only determinate tomato. So a determinate means it's going to be a determined size, whereas everything else is indeterminate, which really needs a big trellis for, and I just don't have the space for that. But Roma is great for making sauces, for canning diced tomatoes, all sorts of stuff. So we're doing 8 of those. I've got some black creme, some Cherokee purple, some flame, some pink brandywine pineapple, and Kellogg beefsteak. These are all great slicing tomatoes. So if you're doing like a BLT or something, those are like what you're going to want to use. And then coming on over, I've got some more lavender, and then I've got some flowers going. So I'm doing nasturtiums, I'm doing calendula, I have some Canterbury bells, I'm doing some Chinese leek. This is also called garlic chive. And then over here, I've got some ground cherries, which I've never grown these before, but apparently they're supposed to be really good. And I've got some German chamomile, sage, some romaine, some spinach. This is a different variety. And then I love dill, especially for pickles, and just this is my favorite herb. So got lots of dill going. And I even brought the onion starts out here. So this is the red, the yellow, and the white onion. And then lastly, I've got some marigolds over here. I honestly need to plant quite a few more of these. And then I have some snapdragons as well. Eventually, I like to do something with the ground where we put gravel or something down to keep the weeds at bay. But for now, this is what it looks like, because gardening can get quite pricey. Things add up very, very quickly. And also, you know, when things happen and like plants die and stuff, that's money down the drain. When your soil gets contaminated and now you have to drop like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to get new soil, that's money down the drain. So there's lots of things that add up very, very quickly. So you kind of have to pace yourself. But one of the things that Chip and I did talk about is that next year, maybe next year, but I think we're thinking next year, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this and then actually build a greenhouse over here and kind of extend the garden back. So I'm trying to plan as far as this, once the soil comes out, if I actually want to keep this bed here. Since we know that's the future plan, then I kind of should plan out the garden before we get soil in here, just thinking ahead. So what I'm kind of thinking, Bootsy, you're so goofy, but how I have these beds here with a big arch trellis, I would love to have another one of these, because a lot of the tomatoes I have are indeterminate. I'm also going to be doing loofah this year, and there's lots of things that need trellises and climbing. So I was kind of thinking that it might be good to have another 2 big beds with what do you call it, a cattle panel trellis. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'm gonna want 2 more big beds over here with the cattle panel trellis, which makes me think that maybe this bed should be over here where the grow bags are. I don't know, but I do need to put that into consideration before, once the bed's all clean, about trying to move this out so we can make the garden more useful in the future. So right here is actually a thornless blackberry, and then this is the other mulberry, which it's wakening up and coming back, but you can see the size difference even though we got them around the same time as each other. One just really popped off and the other one's a bit slower, but this is what I want to get back in a pot. And then we got some random strawberries right here. I don't know if you can see them, but over here, this is gooseberry. It's kind of hiding in here. So this is a gooseberry right here, and this is slowly coming back to life too. And then as you can see here, one of my other thornless blackberries basically rooted itself into the ground because it's in the pot right there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut this off and separate it from the plant and then dig this up, because my mom actually wanted some thornless blackberries, so I'm gonna give her a brand new plant. So actually kind of nice that it did that, but this is all thornless blackberry along the fence too. And then this plant right here, this one, and this is both elderberry, and it's coming back to life, which is exciting. And then this is that thornless blackberry, and then this is thorned raspberry, which honestly I should have done thornless. I just wasn't thinking, and I was so excited to get some raspberry because we love berries, but it is doing really well. I want to make some tea with the leaves this year, and then hopefully we'll get some fruits. And coming over here, so this baby is brand new. So this is a different kind of fig from my other one. I want to say my other one's like a brown turkey or something like that. This is a Celeste or something similar to that. I don't know, but it was looking kind of crazy. And I was like, that's actually quite a big plant for the price. So ended up grabbing that. This is some zinnias that's in here. This is my rosemary. And then this is an apple tree that I just started from seed from a grocery store apple, which I did the same thing with the avocados and the mango inside. And then there's also a pineapple that's inside on the counter as well. This is more zinnias, and then this was a hardy kiwi, but honestly, I planted it right before the frost happens, and I don't know that this is gonna survive. I'm pretty sure that's gonna die. Now, as far as these two beds go, so they basically mirror each other because I love that look. Now, they are slightly different, but I do try to keep them as similar as possible. Now, they're a little bit barren right now. They do have some stuff, but a lot of what's going in here is actually in the greenhouse seed starting. But what's in here right now, I just put in some carrots on this side as well as they're along that side. And then I've got some green onion that bounced back, and right here is actually some giant noble spinach. And then over here, this is thyme that bounced back. We've got some oregano, and then this is romaine. I feel like I've done a lot better of labeling stuff this year, which should be really, really helpful because that was kind of annoying last year because I didn't know what was what. But this is romaine. Now, this is gonna take a little bit longer than the spinach over here. So I try to do the same thing on this bed because this is gonna take longer than what's over here, but we'll get to that in a minute. But then my parsley had kind of died back, and so I just was like gonna pull it, but this root system was not coming out, and I was like, whatever, just stay there. And then it just grew back from that root system. But then over here, I got this plant and this plant from HEB. So this is a serrano pepper, and this is a cayenne, but then this one actually came from a local nursery nearby that I love. So this one is a jumbo jalapeno, which I love jalapenos so much. So I'm excited to make like some stuffed jalapenos with like cheese and bacon, and they call them Texas Twinkies. They're so good. And then I've got some more carrots along here. But also my plan for this bed is I'm gonna put herbs and flowers along the edges. I think that's great, not only to bring pollinators, but also to help with pest control. I'm also gonna be putting in either some peppers or some eggplants right here, the same way that I did this. And then along here, I'm gonna have 3 cucumbers here and 3 cucumbers here going up the trellis. And how I have the 2 herbs here, I also have stuff here, but it's not identical. So this is what I mean by it's slightly mirrored, but a little bit different. So this is my lavender, which came back. It did really well over the frost. And then this one is new from that same local nursery. So this is a pineapple sage. And when you rub it, it really does smell like pineapple. It smells so good. Now this is the same peppers I have over there, just flipped. And then from that same local nursery, I ended up getting some shallots, so that's what this is. And then again, there's some carrots in here, but over here, I actually have some butter crunch lettuce. And then over there, I have some black-seeded Simpson lettuce. And then finally, over here I have some carrots, and again it's gonna have the cucumbers here and either some peppers or some eggplants here, the same, that's gonna be mirrored on that side. Now these beds I'm so proud of. So I ended up having an ant problem in this bed last year, and I tried to plant onions in here last year, but it was just such a flop because of the starters that I got from the store. Honestly, I'm starting from seed this year and I'm hoping it turns out a lot better. But what I did end up doing is I added different varieties of blueberry bushes in here and then different varieties of strawberries to go around. I'm hoping these strawberries will produce runners, and that way they'll kind of like make like a natural mulch around, because blueberries like acidic soil and strawberries also like slightly acidic. So I'm hoping this is a good combination. I might have to add some mulch into these beds, but we'll just see. So that's what I did along here, and what you may see at the very end is this is my very first strawberry of the season that's going red, so I am very excited about that. And then over here, this is my other fig. This grass pile here was actually a pecan tree that's really teeny tiny. I don't think this survived the frost, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then I've got all of my fruit trees along here. So I just dropped Chip off at the airport. His flight is a little bit delayed. I think it was like 45 minutes delayed, so pretty soon they should start boarding. So I guess we'll find out if that's gonna be the case and if they're gonna go out now on the new scheduled time or if they're gonna get hit with a delay again. But we ordered a Texas Roadhouse, the family meal. We like to do the barbecue chicken meal, but then remove the barbecue sauce. And you get a big old salad like this. You can choose either the Caesar or the house. You get 2 sides, but 2 portions of each side. So we normally get 2 green beans and 2 mashed potatoes. And then you also get a big box of rolls with their cinnamon butter. So it's a really good deal. And I think it's like $44 or something like that. So I'm just having some leftover salad for like a late lunchy dinner. I was still pretty full after breakfast. I just made a mess. But another thing that's been going on is I told y'all that we're going to be going to Japan in just a couple weeks. I'm gonna grab a knife to cut this up. I don't wanna dirty up a cutting board, so I'll just use this. But we're gonna be going to Japan in a couple weeks, and we are non-revving. So it's me, my sister, my dad, and my aunt. But the thing is my sister is a teacher and she needed to be back by a certain time. So we actually got her a ticket. So she purchased a ticket, but me, my dad, and my aunt are going to be non-revving. So I've been watching the flights, and y'all, it's not looking so great. It's not looking super great on the days when we wanted to go or the days beforehand, because we didn't mind if we got out there before my sister. Now, I'm most likely just going to be getting on her flight, because even though it's a long flight, worst case, I can jump seat. So she doesn't end up being in Japan by herself, because obviously my dad and my aunt have been there many times. They lived there, they grew up there, so they're very familiar, and I've been many times to Tokyo, so I'm very familiar, but my sister's never been. So I feel like that's quite adventurous for her to be all by herself in that instance. So I'm gonna be trying to get on her flight. But I did see that the flight after, so the next day, that flight is pretty open. So as long as that stays open, I think my dad and my aunt might just take that one, and then me and my sister will get there a day early. But I'm super excited for that trip. I think it's also supposed to be cherry blossom season, so that should be a lot of fun. And then also, I'm like a plan part, go with the flow for the other part, but my aunt is definitely a planner. So I know between her and my sister, they've been planning like a bunch of different things for us to do while we're there. So I'm sure we'll get to sightsee, and I'll get to show you a lot of new stuff. Hopefully we'll get to try new food. I don't know if y'all saw this past video, but the last time I was there, I broke out in hives, like just full body hives, and it was just getting progressively worse. And I still don't know what caused that, so hopefully, hopefully that doesn't happen again. I might have to just take like an antihistamine or something with me. But I've had to try to plan my work schedule a little bit around that. And because I didn't fly at the beginning of this month like I planned, that means when Chip gets back from his work trip, I'm immediately going to have to fly. Then I'm going to be in Japan, and then I'm gonna get back. And I've got lots of flying to do because I have to hit the hard 40. Honestly, in hindsight, I'm like, dang, maybe I should have just taken a month off. I don't even know if they offered leaves. I've honestly been so busy because it's also tax season going on, so I had all that. And then with the new dog and all the things, it's just been very busy lately. Lots of doctor's appointments and other stuff. It's just been chaotic, to say the least. The other thing that's been going on
This salad is so yummy. It's one of my favorites. But another thing that has been going on is our rental property. Our tenant is moving out, which I spoke to you. That's how we ended up with Miss Lily. They're moving out in the middle of this month, but we had another family that just went to go see the property a couple days ago, and they've put in their application, but they haven't made the application. They haven't paid the application fee. So my mom's just waiting on that before she runs the application or whatever. So I think that should hopefully work out. I'm gonna go with the flow. Like, don't stress about it. If it works out, great. It was meant to be. If it doesn't, the right person's going to come along. That's just kind of how I feel with a lot of stuff. Is I try to be like that. You know, it's not always the case. Like, obviously, sometimes you're gonna have initial reactions to things, but I feel like when you take the pressure off, then you let life just happen. I'm very woo-woo like that. So I feel like, you know, no pressure. If they get the house, good, it was meant for them. If they don't, the next right person will come along. So anyways, that looks like it's gonna be good, which will be really nice because that means that we won't really have like a big gap where we're paying for our property and that property at the same time. But also the insurance in Texas just went up crazy because of all the hail and everything else. So we're gonna have to be doing some insurance shopping, which is really boring to talk about. So I won't bore you with that any longer, but it's just another thing on the ever-growing to-do list. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Bomb. So if you were to only choose one food for the rest of your life, that's all you got to eat, what would you choose? Because I feel like for me, it would be a salad. It would definitely be a salad. I feel like a salad is something, it's so versatile. There's so many different kinds, so many different dressings, so many different things you can add in. Like, I feel like I would never get bored of that. What would you choose? Because like, I wouldn't say salad's my favorite food. I wouldn't go that far. I would definitely say like sushi or something like that is my favorite food, but not a salad. But I do think it's just, oh, it's so good. I'm curious what y'all would choose. What would you choose, Miss Boosie Girl? What are you choosing? Doggo food? Huh? Cheese? What you choosing, girly? I feel like y'all are seeing a lot of my kitchen today, but I just got some packages in the mail. I'm really not sure what is what. I'm gonna do my best to open this without accidentally doxing myself. The other thing is Chip did not make the flight. So unfortunately, the non-rev gods were not in his favor because there was a lot of last minute revenue standbys. So had it just been non-revs, he would have gotten on, but with the revenue standbys, that's definitely got in the way. Oh, cool. Okay, so I definitely did not know this was coming. This is from Rock, and I love their products. And apparently this is like an eye balm for under your eyes to brighten it. This is what it looks like. How fun. How super fun. Ooh, I love the little travel case in there. This is cute. It's got a little mirror and everything. What is this? A multi-correction eye balm with vitamin C. I could probably use this right now. I feel like, you know, I'm kind of like I'm really not feeling my best today. I'm like powering through, but everything's just so sinusy. I've got like kind of like a little bit of a headache. I'm sure this ponytail or whatever you want to call the bird's nest on my head is not helping. But now, what is this one? It's saying that this side is supposed to be up to block my address. I love packages. It feels like Christmas. What is this? Oh, this is from Dream. So funny enough, they actually sent me a hair tool that's in my bathroom. I haven't opened it for you guys. I honestly was planning to mess with it today, but truly, I couldn't be bothered. I'm so sorry. You'll just get the all natural. Like, I feel like, you know, when you look good all the time, there's no place to show out. But sometimes when you're humbled and you're looking like this, your face a little puffy, you're just not your best. There's room for improvement. So then when you actually try a little bit, it looks great, you know? But if you're good looking all the time, there's no time to razzle dazzle anybody. But what is this one? Wait a minute. I think they already sent. Is this one no, maybe this is different. Let's see. Oy, oy, oy. This is the Dream Pocket. So it is a high-speed hair dryer. I'm really excited about the diffuser because I'm like a curly wavy girl. Like, my hair type is naturally like this. And so I'm excited to try to use a diffuser and see if that actually works a little bit better. Like, I tried to go the curly hair route and like actually try to take care of my hair and, you know, really do the thing, but nobody talks about how time consuming and hard it is to actually keep up with your curly hair. Like, I thought straightening was really time consuming and a lot, but no, it's maintenance of your actual hair texture. But all right, let me go show you the other one they sent because it's very, very similar looking. It might look really familiar to you. So this is the other one that I was actually planning to try out today. So this is the Dream Air Style Suite, which looks a lot like the Dyson Airwrap that y'all know I love my Dyson. Now, is she expensive? Yes, she's very, very pricey. She is for sure an investment, and it's really unfortunate that I can only use it in the States. I can't use it because there's not like a dual voltage. It's not like universal, so I can't take it with me when I'm traveling. I don't know if this one is dual, but it has a lot of attachments that are similar. So it'll be really interesting to compare this to what I already know that I really love and enjoy. So maybe another time we'll try those out together. Now I need to start walking the dogs. I like to walk Lucy and Bronson before it gets dark outside, just because Bronson gets really protective of me when we're together. I saw Boots is in the backyard, so I'm probably gonna scoop up Boots and then go take them for a walk, and then I gotta feed all the dogs and get everything going. But this was a cute little catch up, just chilling with my friends. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed just a little laid back vlog. And if I haven't said this recently, I just wanna go ahead and say I really appreciate you guys. I just adore y'all all so much, and I just have fun making videos and content for y'all, and I really appreciate y'all being here and, you know, just hanging out. So if I haven't said it to you lately, I very much appreciate you. You are very loved. But anywho, I guess this is a good time to go ahead and call it so I can take care of my fur babies. And if you did enjoy this video, if you wouldn't mind giving it a big old thumbs up and pressing that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.